We're live right now, so don't say that. You don't want JW to hear.
So,
the dog. The J-Dog.
Doggy dog.
Alright. So
Really, the only scenic river in Tennessee.
we got.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I figured you knew most of those tidbits, but
Yeah.
Hatchie means river, river. A Choctaw. So how did they get the Choctaw?
see, I don't know because there was Chickasaws here.
Mostly
But,
Chickasaw, but I mean,
but
if
it
you go
said,
back in time, they sort of here and there, it was a lot more
yep.
nomadic instead of hard.
Now, I just.
Hard boundaries.
What is the gist of this? Because I didn't. I just glanced at it. But that was the last one
There's
I
a lot of
got.
the state parks doing a lot of kayaking stuff.
Okay.
While you
Yeah.
start, I'll
Okay.
sort
Well,
of go through.
It's time. Are we good, Janet?
we just ran
Okay.
together, and
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony Landreth.
I'm Bubba Spencer.
I'm Keith Haywood.
Hey, I want to welcome y'all to another Tennessee Outside Facebook Live show coming to you live from the Dr. R.E. Wilhite building here at the Hardeman County Agribusiness Center. And as we always say, is if you hunt and fish in Tennessee or enjoy any of the outdoors of Tennessee, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. But this is a show you need to watch. We will be taking some questions, and then I don't know when we're going to do another giveaway, but I know we are, so we'll be available. Our guest tonight is Brittany Willis. She's going to be talking about events going on in the Hatchie River, and she is the water activity coordinator for the city of Bolivar with Sand Beach Lake, Hatchie River, or I guess anywhere, isn't it?
Those two specifically, yeah, we haven't branched out further than that yet.
Okay. All right. That's cool. I'm sure you will, though.
Yeah, there's other water out there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
So,
it sure is.
you know,
It sure is. Hey, Keith, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, if you don't mind, bro.
Yes, sir. Apex Outdoor Rewards, that's our premier sponsor. We have Deception Scents, Baker Glass Shop, Second Amendment Outdoors, Big Hill Pond Boat Sales and Repair, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, Lynnhurst Family Resort, Prym1 Camo, Threeway Processing, and Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services. And as always, big shout out to Brian Harford and the Crappie Addicts Facebook page.
Yeah, I got one of his shirts on tonight. So, hey, also, too, want to thank the Facebook groups that allow us to share their page. Tennessee Deer Hunters, and I'm going to tell you what, once that went back online, I know Wade Hendricks had a lot to do with it, but, most time, I'll say people start jumping on there during deer season.
yeah.
But I bet you it's 100 or more people trying to get on there a day right now. And I mean, we're at 72,000 strong right now with that group. And I'm one of the moderators on that page. And to me, it's one of the best pages on there. But all of these are awesome pages. But Tennessee Deer Hunters, West TN Deer Hunters, Tennessee Woods and Waters, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, Tennessee Bow Hunters, Tennessee Valley Sportsmen, Real West Tennessee Sportsmen, East Tennessee Deer Hunters, Tennessee Rivers and Lakes, Bow Hunters of America, our biggest group, over 230,000. True Hunters and Anglers, Southern Boys 870, Hunting for Connections, TN Outdoor Info, Tennessee Hunting and Fishing Report, Hunt Swaps of America, Tennessee Outdoors and Hunting, Tennessee Small Game Hunting and Fishing, and Middle Tennessee Coyote Hunters.
All right, we have Kentucky Whitetail Hunters established in 2015, West Kentucky Hunters, Do a Country Jig, Pickwick Lake Anglers, Crappie Cats, Bass, and more, Gamekeepers and Food Plots, Pickwick Lake Fishing Reports, Turkey South, Backwood Hunting and Fishing, Wildlife Hunter Association, Whitetail Snipers, Feathers and Fur, Camel Thug Outdoors, Blumpville Tennessee Deer Hunters, Back to the Roots Outdoors, Down to Earth Hunting, Tennessee Turkey Hunters, and Hatchie River Fishing Bank Poles.
All right, appreciate that. Hey, Bubba, we had the commission meeting.
Yep.
And a lot of people was expecting some changes, and
Just
I mean it was some changes. I noticed.
no major changes.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. They did create 2 new elk zones.
2 new elk zones for the guys up in East Tennessee,
Yep.
or if you get drawed.
And then they added 4 more elk permits for
Yep.
you to sign up for. So that brings it to, I believe, 19, the total permits now. gosh, what did it start out, 6?
And maybe it's 6.
I think it started out at 6. Now it's up to 19.
And you know, man, if you're lucky enough to get a permit and take an elk in Tennessee, I mean that's got to be special.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
And I noticed that they're doing one for the 16 and under.
Yeah.
And that hunt will coincide with school fall breaks.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was talking about in Tennessee, since the inception, they've killed 96 bull elk.
Really?
Yep, since the inception.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, too, notice that they have created some refuges, 2 new refuges, I guess. I think it may have been on existing WMAs. I'm not sure, but one of them is 800 acres in Claiborne County, and then another 570 acre in Carroll County.
Yeah.
That's named after the late Lee Russell. He was a helicopter pilot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he he lost his life on the duty.
Yes.
In a helicopter.
And that's what I was.
A year ago, I guess.
Yep, I was thinking he did.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, I kicked the table. What happened?
Oh.
It was like,
I know, I didn't mean to. I apologize.
Yeah, and then also too, they talked about it's I guess the number of bear and human confrontations is increasing, and I mean, and a lot of that is common sense. I mean, you don't need to approach them and try to pet them and take pictures of them close, especially if they got cubs. I mean, nothing good's going to come out of that.
And especially when the bear's around, securing the food.
Yeah.
Once a bear starts eating garbage, it's going to end badly for the bear.
That's right.
Every time.
And then they're trying to talk about getting bear-proof dumpsters, but as what you always say, don't put yourself in a bad situation.
Don't put yourself in a bad situation with a bear.
Yeah, because you'll come out on the losing
Yeah.
end of that stick. I'm just going to tell you.
And the reality of, especially in Middle Tennessee, as our bear population continues to expand, and so does the human population, we're going to have more and more of that in the future.
And yet, you really see them expanding more toward Middle Tennessee.
More towards Middle
because I know
Tennessee,
it's
that
people
plateau and
up,
all that.
Davison County and some of those counties. There's many people like me and Keith too, and Duck always got trail cameras. You too.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff you see on there kind of make you go, dang.
I mean, in the last 10 years, those bears have really moved west.
Yes.
A lot of them.
And then, we talked about it, the Mississippi Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, they put out the bear map.
Yes.
And I mean, counties right below us.
Yeah.
Bear sightings.
What was, I was reading a book not long ago about the golden age of hunting in the 1700s and 1800s. Man, there were so many bears in Mississippi. It was like the bear capital.
Well, and speaking of that, that's why the Wolf River is. That book, that it was so many wolves.
So many wolves.
It was so, I mean, it was just unreal down there.
That's hence the name Wolf River.
Yeah, it sure was. It was a bunch of, and what other kind of animals was it? That it was something else, and they spread further. Was it mountain lions? I can't remember.
I don't know what was,
but it was other stuff, that was close.
Black Panther.
Another
No,
thing
it wasn't that.
is, they, like all of Arkansas, they used to go there just a prairie chicken hunt.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And,
Yeah,
now it's all in agriculture. And,
Right.
That used to be all prairie.
yeah.
And people seem to forget that was the landscape of most of that Arkansas after you went Memphis to the west.
Yeah. Well, I know. West Tennessee used to have elk. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the prairie.
Prairie chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that Arkansas, where all those agricultural fields was prairie.
I think the last elk in West Tennessee was killed in Union County during the Civil War.
I was going to say 1890. I think it was a little bit.
No, I thought it said 1860s.
It was
I think it was
okay.
like 1865.
Was it 1865?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But it
Around the
was
Civil
in
War.
Union County.
Yep.
It sure was. And, of course, now you don't
Not
think
Union
about
County. Not Union County.
O'Brien County.
O'Brien
O'Brien, not Union.
Yeah, Union
O'Brien
City.
County.
O'Brien.
Yeah. Because I can remember File Allen Baker's grandmother out on 64.
That was the last elk kill before we started elk.
That's right, yeah. But
Very
I can
introduction.
remember as a kid going out her house, and she lived right there across from Forest Hill Road, and right across from Glen Moore, because that was, and but I can remember she was talking about a creek down there, and that creek is still there to this day, and said, yeah, I can remember the last bear we saw was 1903 down there.
Down there, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting encounter to go outside at night. To be
I don't even know if it was night, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, nowadays.
Yes.
But you're talking about elk. I mean, it's like our habitat would be ideal for
I
elk,
know,
you
but
would think.
they didn't want no elk around here when that. Cause I mean, it was a battle to get them reintroduced to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, the insurance companies and stuff because of
Just their size and.
well, yeah, and then normally if there's a
I think it was more agriculture.
agriculture
not like
too.
Jeffs, yeah. I can see
Yeah, that too. But I mean, I know who was it? Farm Bureau, but a lot of that was too, with agriculture, like you said. Yep, sure was.
No,
But,
we went down a rabbit hole there. We went
Yeah, I
we're
know.
going down.
And then, but then there also too, and I'm glad they've made this, but they clarified on the manner and means proclamation about the rules that people can use during when a youth deer or bear hunt, and I can tell you where that come from is last year during the youth deer hunt, it was so many coyote hunters posting pictures on Facebook with rifles. That's always been illegal.
Yeah.
But the last year for some reason, or last couple of years, it did not make the book like that. So that was brought to their attention. So so anybody out there that you're coyote hunting and it's a youth bear hunt or juvenile or youth deer hunt, you cannot go coyote hunting legally with a center fire weapon. You still can with shotgun and 22 rimfire, but you cannot center fire. Used to that was always in the book like that.
Yeah, youth don't get too many weekends to themselves.
That's right.
I mean, it's best week.
And plus, too, those coyote hunters when they're out there doing that, with those centerfire weapons, they wasn't wearing fluorescent orange.
Right.
And so that's why it kind of brought it to a head. So just so y'all know, if you're out there during the youth hunt in October, do not be out there coyote hunting with centerfire weapon. So, but I know that is one thing. And then I guess the last thing, Bubba, was the paddlefish thing, wasn't it? On the Mississippi River, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, they approved opening up a 30-mile stretch on the Mississippi River for silver carp and paddlefish, commercial fishing. So,
Okay.
that they did do that. I knew they had talked about it, and they did. Okay. All right. Brittany, okay, like I say, you're the water activity coordinator for the city of Bolivar. And like I say, I know that includes Sand Beach Lake and the Hatchie River, but what y'all's next thing is? Something coming up on the Hatchie River, right?
Yeah, we had a Hatchie River tour scheduled April 22nd. That was last Saturday. We ended up canceling it. We had quite a bit of rain on Friday, and the river kept climbing above 12, and that was kind of our hard cutoff. So we ended up canceling that the morning of, and our next one is May 13th. So that'll be another Saturday. We begin at 9 at the boat ramp.
Which ramp?
This one's going to be from Highway 18 to Highway 100.
Okay.
So we're going to do 64 to 18, and then this next one on the 13th would be 64 to 100. So you
18.
can float
18 to 100.
18 to 100.
So that's what you're doing on the 13th, 18th to 100.
Correct.
Okay.
How long would that take? I know it varies with water.
It's around 11-ish miles.
Around
So it's a
11.
little bit longer than that first.
I
Yeah, I was going to say, that's longer than
I knew
64
it was
to
a
18.
pretty good little
Depends on the water flow.
flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That'd be a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
I bet you'd be probably at
4 or
least
5
5.
hours.
Yeah.
I'm going to say probably 5 too.
5 or more.
Because I know when we float the river duck hunting from 64 to 18, it would take 4.5 hours. But now that's just floating.
Floating,
'cause you
yeah.
can't-
Not paddling
Not
at all. Yeah.
No.
And of course,
We
it,
paddle the whole time. Almost.
Yeah.
of course, you could stop or enjoy something. It's not a race.
That's right.
So just
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
there's
is not a
sandbars
race, right?
floating.
Are there
No,
many
no
sandbars?
race,
Are
yeah.
there many sandbars through that area?
Sometimes and
With the
sometimes
weather level,
not.
yeah,
with the
with
water
the
level.
level.
Depends.
Yeah.
And it's all got to do, too, how fast the river drops,
Right,
because
right.
I know right down there where Pleasant Run Creek comes in, we used to call it Dr. Barnes' place, because when I was a kid, some years it'd be the biggest, prettiest sandbar, and we'd camp out. I mean, we'd spend 4 or 5 days down there, just as kids. But then, other years, the way the river would drop, it wouldn't be any sandbar.
Right.
now, Brittany, is there a pre-registration, or they just show up, or what? If someone's wanting to go,
Right.
what do they need to do here?
Yeah, we have the events up on Eventbrite, so you would purchase a ticket through that, and then we
Now,
can,
what is that?
Eventbrite is a ticketing kind of like Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Eventbrite is almost just as big as Ticketmaster,
Okay.
you know. So it is a ticketing website, and you can throw up your event on that. You have the different availabilities of kayaks. Say we have 12 kayaks singles, so for one person we have available one tandem, which holds 2 people, and then you can bring your own kayak. So there's different levels. They cost different amounts. The single's $35, the tandem's a little more at $55, and then bring your own kayak was $25, which is highly subsidized. I mean, this trip could cost, the same guy does the Hatchie River tours at $85 starting, you know,
Okay.
for a single kayak. And then that brings you and your kayak back to the starting location.
Okay.
So a guide, safety,
Yes.
transportation, it provides quite a bit.
Now, I know the guides that do that, they have to be certified first aid and
Yes.
everything like that.
American Canoe Association certified and leading tours. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can go from there on how much you want to curate your tour, you know.
Is there designated stopping points, say if everybody wants to stop, take a break, or is there a certain checkpoint? I'm sure you got people that's monitoring from the front, midsection,
Yes.
and the rear end too, to make sure
Exactly.
nobody gets left behind.
Right. Yep. That's what we had set up for this one. Yeah.
That would be.
A lead, sweeper, middle. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. There's a bring your own kayak option on all of our events. Yep. It's a little bit
That-
cheaper. So if you've got a kayak, you also have to bring your own PDF and paddle. So we don't provide those if you're bringing your own kayaks, but they're also necessary.
But transportation is provided back.
Transportation
Back.
is provided.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is the
Well, I've
big
got a
one.
few that
Yeah.
are
Which
going to
is
be
the
very
big
interested
one.
in that, and that's going to fall on a great date probably. That May, the weather's starting
13th.
to warm up.
Right.
It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and maybe next year I might change those. I'm just learning this year that I should have done more of the lake guided tours over the sand pits of Bolivar. We're going to do some of those in the summer. I should have kind of switched that and did the Hatchie in the
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
done
because
lake
the
in
water
the
level's not
spring.
as volatile at that time as it is
Right.
in the spring.
And it's almost never that volatile on the lake. The lake's good anytime.
Right, that's
so,
right.
Yeah, wind is kind of an issue on the lake. It's a pretty big lake, Sand Beach Lake. So
Do y'all have like any kind of Facebook page or anything?
No Facebook page for the,
no social media site for that.
not the water activities. No,
okay.
this is the first year we're starting it, and this is the first iteration. We have some grand plans for the future, and possibly renting out these paddle boards, kayaks, canoes, and paddle boats.
Now, that's on Sand Beach
On
Lake.
Sand Beach Lake, but then we'd also have a van and a trailer
Mm-hmm.
that could get our kayaks or canoes out to Hatchie and then pick you up. So you could come in a sedan.
Yeah. Just
and-
bring the family
To
in.
Sand Beach Lake, and we
Yeah.
could haul you to the start
Awesome.
and get you from the end.
Yeah.
And you could bring nothing.
Now, is there a limit to the number of people that can go on this?
Yes, there's a limit. I think each event on the river, we have available 12 kayaks.
Just 12.
And
Okay.
then one tandem, so that would be 12, 13, 14, and then bring your own.
Oh.
Then there's a certain amount that any guides can bring. And so there's 3 of us. I think it would be 30 at that point. I'm not exactly sure that hard number, but I think we said 23.
I think that's what you was asking was the
23.
maximum number of
Yeah.
people that could go to this event,
Yeah.
whether they bring their own or rent one or not.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, so we set it at 23
Okay.
for those 2. Yeah.
23.
23
So,
people.
so if somebody's wanting to get on it, they just need to go to Eventbrite and go ahead.
Yeah, and choose what you need. Do you need a
Need-
kayak?
right.
Do you have like a younger person that you want to go with you, or do you and your partner want to go together on a tandem?
Right.
I prefer a single because I want to see everything and
Well,
I
yeah.
want to lead.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit behind.
You get with your partner, that's a good way to get in a fight, argument.
Yeah, but a kid, it would be a great first
Especially if they're
experience.
paddling over
Yeah,
towards a
yeah.
snake or something.
Yeah.
They're not paddling hard, making you do all the work. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's some
it's
coordination.
It is a growing sport. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
It is a booming sport.
Hey, the more we can get outside and enjoy our rivers, our Hatchie River is beautiful.
Oh, it is.
It
definitely,
is gorgeous.
Definitely. For those of us that grew up on
yeah.
it, we know.
Oh, I guarantee
Yeah.
you.
No.
And you know, people, speaking of these kayaks, these nice new kayaks are just at a different level.
Yeah.
On just make it covered and ease and
Once you
Yeah.
get in them.
yeah.
Sun
Bringing
pushes
everything
out
What
of
you-
it,
what
you put a
you-
depth finder on it.
Oh,
and
man,
no,
it's
it's
got-
all
Yeah.
it's all tricked.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, as far as kayaking goes, there is big time bass tournaments it's done out of kayak. I'm talking,
fishing. Yeah.
$100,000
Yeah.
prize money.
Right.
And you have to be in a kayak.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That's
They're
standard,
strictly
yeah.
just kayak tournaments.
I work
yeah.
with a guy that he and his wife, they kayak often. I mean, that's what they do. They
Right.
go
Now,
to
is this a
Arkansas.
kayak and canoe?
You could feasibly bring your own canoe we didn't offer that as we're bringing it there for you.
Yeah.
But you could bring that, as a bring your own option.
Could they hitch a ride back to the ramp if they brought a canoe?
I'm pretty sure. I'd have to get with my guide to ask him if his trailer can accommodate a canoe.
Okay. What about people that just might show up the day y'all go? Just curious.
Hey, sometimes you've been to a museum and they're having a tour and you kind of
That's right.
get behind them and you listen. It's interesting.
So if somebody wanted to go and just pay at the ramp, is that an option?
Yeah, sure. If we've got room with the regulations in place, with the amount of guides that we have, absolutely.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, but just say, because I'm just looking at, so
Yeah.
say y'all are full, but then somebody comes up and they say, well, we're full. And they say, well, I'm going anyway. I mean, you really can't stop them because Hatchie River's a public river.
It's open,
Yeah.
free. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they'll use some common courtesy, though.
Yeah, we need our waivers signed, to protect ourselves, and they just wouldn't be, protected in that way, or
That's right.
So everybody
yeah.
that does this, they do sign waivers and stuff?
Yes, yes, that's part of on Eventbrite. You go through that when you purchase your ticket, and then
Okay,
we have
and
your
you say bright. Where do you find that?
Eventbrite.com.
Events Bright.
Event Bright, B-R-I-T-E.
Yep.
Okay, okay,
BRITE.
.com, okay.
And then the city of Bolivar has been pushing it several times. There's been flyers pushed through. There's been other posts about it. So, I mean, you can go to the city of Bolivar and you'd find our Eventbrite links.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't
Or
seen
just
that Facebook
Eventbrite
post
Hatchie
on
River. It would come up on just a Google search.
So is there a designated spot everybody's going to stop, maybe take a break, or it's just if you want to or not?
Well, it depends on what's available. Like we talked about, those sandbars are there sometimes and they're not there sometimes. So it's kind of ad hoc of
Yeah.
what we see.
Yeah.
See if
Yep.
you see something
Yeah.
interesting or everybody's up
Yeah.
for a break.
Yeah.
That's part of the lead's job. There's the front person is eyeing what's available in
Yeah,
front of us
yeah.
and what our group is at. Are we at the 2-hour mark? We're at a lunch spot.
So sometimes
Some
you
people
may
need to use
just
the
kind of
restroom.
quit paddling or whatever, and just kind of
Oh, you could
group
let the
up and
river
just,
take you.
yeah, just kind of catch
Yeah.
a break.
And it's
Yeah.
certain
Place.
parts of it that it'll, it would push you, and it's certain parts
Yeah.
that, I mean, it's some of the curves down there, especially
Yeah.
between
Some of the
18
curves.
and 100, that it's almost like an eddy. You're going to have to kick that paddle in
Yeah.
overdrive just to get out of it.
Get on around.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Take
when we
the small
float the
line.
river duck hunting sometime, you're going around, and we literally have to either turn a trolling motor or crank the motor just to get out of that.
Keep on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, your momentum, you're done. You're just, you got to do something to get out of there.
Right.
I've had it just completely 180 me.
That's right. It will.
360.
And,
All around.
and, and it's more of those. It's not as many between 64 and 18, but 18 to 100, that's a bunch of them. And it's I can think of 2 or 3 from Hornsby Landing, back when Hornsby Landing was a public ramp. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
That went to 64. That was a good one too.
See, I've never been on that part of the river. I kind of grew up
Yeah. The main
in 76 and 70, and then kind of as a duck hunter between the Big 80 and
Yeah,
70.
and the
so-
biggest thing, the takeaway of that, it's wider down there. The further you get closer to the Mississippi River, the
Absolutely.
wider it gets.
Do you bring a lunch?
Absolutely, yeah.
Lunch?
We could be off the river in as fast as 2 hours, at least from 64 to 18. I've done it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was very quick. So we'd be done. We start at 9. There's a safety briefing for, 15, 20 minutes and getting all of our kayaks situated. So 11 to 1 or 2, you're out there. So yeah, definitely snacks and definitely water. The guides bring first aid kits, like you said, and they're certified in that. We've also floated the river a lot. So we know where those eddies are, where
Yeah.
we have looked out where we know some trees are. Things change all the time on the river, but that's part of that guided tour. The lead has a little mini chainsaw in case there's some branches we need to get out of the way. And
Yeah, because
to
that
get
could change
through.
from one day to the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy.
And I mean, I've even seen it one day the next to where, like Hooten Hill last year during that catfish tournament, they put trot lines out, go back the next day, a big tree across there. You just, that happens.
That happens.
And some of them, You know, now, that might be a bad scenario if you can't get around it. Because, I mean, I've seen some big trees that you're not getting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you might take it out and walk
Yeah.
out on the bank, put it back in, but you're not going to get around it.
That's
I mean,
what
that's
we
just
do.
part of the river.
Yeah, that's
And that
part
bank,
of
man, you
Hatchie.
can step through the bank in a lot of places,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Well, in certain, wherever you get out, too, that
Marshy.
it's nothing slicker
Slicker, you
than
done
that,
busted
than that
my-
Hatchie River.
I have busted
It
my
happens.
butt.
Oh, me
more
too.
times.
Yes.
Before, as my partner Bert would say, before you know it, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens that
Yeah.
quick.
Like the old saying, slicker than owl, you know. And I mean, you will
You
go
look at me
down-
like, yeah, that looks good. I'll be good.
Been there and done that
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah, 'cause I know I was fishing when I was a kid at Essery Springs on the Hatchie River, you know, and those banks are pretty steep up on that end. And I got just a little too far over, and it was no coming back.
Yeah,
you know.
well, what you're
I
going,
mean, I was in
there's
the
no
river,
stopping.
and then it was hard for them to get me out. I mean, it was really hard for them to get me out because it was no place. You know, the bank was so steep, no place to climb out. But it does it.
And you've got some interesting facts here. I don't know if you were going to wait till after. the
No,
break.
I
was
really
just-
brought them to Brittany, but
Yeah, I
you
was
know,
just sitting there kind of looking.
Yeah,
at it, and there's
let's
some
go
things
over
there
some of
that
the
I
Hatchie River
had no idea.
that people might not know about.
yeah,
you know.
the Hatchie River starts in Union County, Mississippi, near Pleasant, Mississippi. It dumps into the Mississippi River near Randolph, Tennessee. It's 238 river miles long. And that's, you know, from what's in Mississippi comes through Tennessee.
Near Randolph.
Yep. That's where it empties into the Mississippi River at. Of course, you know, Hatchie River means, Hatchie means river, according to the Choctaw Indians, you know, in their language. You know, a lot of people may not know, but, and I remember hearing this when I went on hayride when I was just a kid and it was on the river, that, you know, shallow running steamboats used to run
Yes.
up and down
Yep.
the Hatchie
Hatchie,
River
yeah, I did
from
know
the
that.
Mississippi River to Bolivar. Bolivar, they didn't hardly go much further than Bolivar most of the time, but, you know, a lot of commerce on the,
That's when Bolivar was down on the river.
yeah, that it was.
Hatchetown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, I see, I always thought the Hatchie jumped in at Fulton, which is at the other side of Fort Pillow Prison.
No, well, I'm just going by what. No, it's. I've been there. It's not.
I see. I have not.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than that. And but I know there's over 100 species of fish in the Hatchie River, 30 species of mussels. But the one I did not know, it's 11 different species of catfish.
11 different.
11, you know.
I didn't know
Of course,
it was 11.
I know you got.
Don't know all of them.
Yeah, I know.
There'll
Of
be
course,
some of those
a
small,
lot of them are those little bitty small ones.
Yeah, the mud
And I can't.
cats.
Yeah, and I can't think of the names of it.
Yeah.
You know, they got a name like that, but they're in the catfish family. Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, and I've caught some of them, and I always thought they was like just baby flathead catfish,
Yeah, I
but
don't
but
know.
they wasn't.
They're the different species.
It sure is, but
Yeah.
they're considered catfish. And the largest fish, you know, is, of course, you know, they reintroduced the alligator gar down
Yeah.
there about, 15, 20 years ago, I think it was. And, of course, that and flathead catfish. Of course, I know you got some big old carp and buffalo, and now you got the, you know, the Asian carp in there,
You could
too.
get a paddlefish in there.
Yeah, well,
Nice,
I've caught paddlefish
yeah.
in there. I sure have. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only river in Tennessee designated as a scenic river, and it's the only unchannelized river on the Mississippi floodplain.
Yeah, and we're pretty fortunate to have
Yes.
one left
Yeah,
in today's world.
And I know Mike Butler with the, I guess he's president and CEO of Tennessee Wildlife Federation. You know, he was trying to get that on a federal scenic list,
Wow.
and
Protect it.
That
Yeah.
would preserve,
Yeah.
that would protect it
further
even more.
protect it. That's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right, because he had talked to me about that.
I can remember years and years ago, they were wanting to do some dredging pretty bad.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
come to a halt.
Now I know two places that man have made changes on it.
Oh yeah,
you know,
there's been changes done. To
yeah,
it.
around
There's
Horseshoe.
Some places that need it just a little bit.
Yeah.
As bad as you hate to say it, but it is.
Yeah, we called it Horseshoe between 64 and 18, and it made that old river run that come through by the big bluffs down there. That,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you don't get to see that when you go in the river now, but I mean, it was huge bluffs and drop offs, and but then the other part they call the Dynamite Ditch is between 100 and Hatchie Station, where you get that 1 mile straight stretch.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm talking
yeah.
about? That was man-made.
Yeah.
done
Yeah,
down
because
through there.
the old channel breaks right there at the old bridge at Hatchie Station. Am I not correct?
Well,
there?
this is upriver from that.
Okay.
It's
okay.
upriver,
Okay.
but we call it the dynamite
That's
ditch.
as
But
far
it's
as I've been.
Because it's straight. You hit it and it's
yeah, you can look it up
Straight.
on the map. It's the only straight
section.
portion on the Hatchie River.
Was that before permitting, maybe?
Man, I
Before
don't-
they?
I don't know.
it probably was.
I can remember the
Scenic
horseshoe part was
Right.
done, I believe, in the early '60s, between '64 and '18, and but I'm not sure when the part between 100 and Hatchie Station was done.
But even though it is a scenic and you can't do it, a lot of the feeder ditches that have coming into it have been altered. By
Oh,
man.
yes.
Yeah.
Most of them have.
Yeah, most of them have.
Yeah.
Like Piney Creek,
Yeah,
Porter's
mo-
Creek.
yeah, almost all of them.
Is that just for navigate? Was it from sand or was
Most
that a
of it's done
purpose?
for agriculture.
Okay.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
get water
Just
off
to
the
get the water
landscape.
off the land.
Landscape.
Yeah.
And so they straighten them out like that.
Or I say agriculture. It could also be timber.
Yeah,
But
A lot
that's
of
what
timber
majority.
fed along the river.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, if there's a lot of people that live in this area, in our area, that's never experienced that river.
Oh yeah,
And they would be amazed at how beautiful it is.
yeah.
if they
And
could
it's
just
a lot of
take
places
a
too.
day.
to-
Oh yeah, you're
to
right.
where you cannot clear cut the timber next to the river.
Mm-hmm.
In certain, I don't know, it may be some kind of program you have it in, but I know it's places like that. There's two national refuges on the Hatchie River. One's in Haywood County, and the lower Hatchies in part of Tipton and Lauderdale counties. And if you live around here, most people know this. But during the Civil War, there was a battle called the Battle of Davis Bridge. It was fought down there on the Hatchie on October 4th and 5th of 1862. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get off the river there and look at the interpretive signs
Yeah.
that
Yes.
they've got.
yeah,
And it's one thing if you just go on the Hatchie, if you go all the way to Mississippi versus all the way to the Mississippi, Mississippi River from the Mississippi line, it's almost it changes a lot.
yes,
a lot.
It sure does. At 238 miles, it's going to change
Changes
a lot. That's for sure. Tell you what, we need to take a break. Apex Outdoor Rewards, our premier sponsor, and it is not too late to sign up. If you sign up right now, they dropped the price from $125 to $75. You get the turkey tool over there that Keith's got beside him. It's got a scale on it. You can use it as turkey tote, and then you measure your beers and spurs. And the contest goes by, it's 1 times the weight, 2 times the beard, 10 times each spur length on that. And I know Taylor Demon, Chris Jack's nephew, he killed one the other day. It had 1.5 inch and 9/16 spurs. And
That's a beast.
anybody around Hardin County
Man, that's
knows
good.
that is a big bird, for that.
Old bird.
It sure was. But you can still sign up. It's ongoing in Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. But you can go there and sign up, and it's going to be a lot of money given away on that. Hey, Deception Scent, Parrish, he's still up at Bigger Bucks Outfitters in Illinois. He's guiding and filming up there, but they have a complete line of scent eliminating products. You can see these two here, the Deception Scents and the Pure Marine. And it's good stuff. I use it all the time. They have the Pure RV, Fast Gas, Pure 100, but they do have the Fast Gas in every version. They also make turkey calls, deer calls, in the process of developing many more. Bill Dance, he's on board with the Pure Marine, pushing that. I know I talked to Chris Barnett yesterday, I think it was. Of course, all of their products you can buy on Amazon. They're in, I think was in 9 Shield stores. They're fixing to go in 30. And it's of course, I went down Walmart. I know Pure Marine's in over 2,000 Walmarts right now. And they're hoping that they start carrying pretty much all their products by
They need
fall.
to get on board.
Yeah, they do.
Big time.
Yeah.
Need to get on board.
And I know they're selling a lot of those. We just come out with, it's supposed to be, they're like, their economical pot call, the MK, of course. We've nicknamed it Monster Killer.
Yeah.
And because it's been a lot of turkeys taken with that thing. A bunch. But anyway, I highly recommend going on their site and getting some of their products. I think they have a few last call left. this was the last year they was going to make it. Last call, 2023. I think they made a signed and numbered 150 of them. And but that's I think the most expensive one just about that they got.
Yeah,
and
it's
a
in my
good
office, and it's not going. It's not. It's display.
Yeah, that's
Display
exactly
only,
right.
no touch.
Yeah. Hey, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Go to www.tmwildlife.org for information, and be sure to follow TWRA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. In Threeway Processing, I did talk to David today.
I almost caught him.
I did. I called him today. He's run into a little snag with the building. He's still hoping, but so I guess by that, he's still looking to lease a 5,000 to 6,000 square foot building, or he'd like to purchase 5 to 15 acres of land in either Madison, Gibson, Haywood, or Crockett counties. If you have any information, you can contact David Tyndall at 731-432-9076. And he talked to me today about he's got this very expensive knife set that comes with a meat cleaver, fillet knife, sharpener. It's about 6 or 7 different knives, and he's wanting to do something to auction it off for a benefit for somebody we know. We got to talk more about it, but if we do, we'll kind of run that through on the show. And it is a very high end set.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And speaking about David real quick, I mean, not only do a lot of people from Haywood County go to him, but Madison County, Carroll County, Crockett County.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be missed if he can't get something open.
We have talked about that because I mean, it will make a big. I mean, it's going to be bad
in the harvest.
Yeah, it will affect. It'll literally affect the harvest numbers because it's so many people now. Used to you didn't think about it, but now more people think about if they're going to go hunting. It's like okay. They put a little more forethought in it, like, okay, where am I going to carry one if I take one?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we all. I mean, you and I both. We've not shot deer before because it's like, we ain't got nobody to help us drag it out. I'm sure you have too, Keith.
For sure.
So I mean,
understand.
I mean, it happens.
And then some of your, and there's some good processors out there. I'm not going to knock them, but some of them don't have the operation David had, and they just fill up. You can't get in anywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
So hopefully, if anybody's watching, maybe we can get David some help, get this figured out for him.
Yeah, well, I see.
We're going to need him.
I see our pro team member Chase Gregg is watching. He wants to come down to the show with us one night.
Well, let's do it. I'd love for him to come
I know.
down. Man,
yeah, because
awesome. He asked if I killed a bird yet.
Yeah, well, we tried the other day, Keith.
We tried for a while.
You got on the day before I went with you, and then we got on one. And
you got hot for a while, then you got cold.
Well,
I couldn't make it happen.
I think I've been. Well, I've only really gone twice, and it didn't happen. Times it did.
You went twice. I thought you were going.
No, that was it. But
it's not over.
No, it's not.
Far from over.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, but I will say, Bubba, you and I talked about the least amount of gobbling we've heard, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Go ahead, Keith.
Okay, we have Big Hill Palm Boat Sales and Repair. Go see Kenny Fortune for all your boating needs, sales, or repair. He also has firearms and fishing tackle. Contact Kenny at 731-645-4384. He's located at 9282 Highway 57 in Raymer, Tennessee. Bear with me, guys. Baker Glass Shop. Stop by and see Corey Madden for all your glass needs. Auto, big trucks, heavy machinery. Contact Corey at 731-658-4510. And he is located at 321 East Market Street here in Bolivar, Tennessee. Have Second Amendment Outdoors, your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Guns, ammo, fishing tackle, clothes, boats, and much more. Mark Austin and his great staff will take good care of you. Contact Mark at 662-592-8687. And he is located at 2804A Highway 72 West in Corinth, Mississippi. We have Lynnhurst Family Resort. Lynnhurst is located on the Blood River and inlet of Kentucky Lake. You can stay at one of their cabins, condos, in the motel, or at one of their campsites. They also have pontoons, jet skis, and golf cart rentals. Book by calling Dennis Helmuth at 270-436-2345 or 606-341-3399.
I bet you they're fixing to start getting busy.
You know they are.
Yeah.
Can I add something to what you just said?
Yes, ma'am.
It was just came across, so you can repeat it. You get a 10% discount at Lynnhurst Family Resorts if you mention this Facebook show,
Uh-huh.
Tennessee Outside, when booking, and talk to Dennis Helmuth.
Okay, so call Dennis Helmuth, and if you mention this show, you get a
Tennessee
10% discount just for mentioning this show.
Correct.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool
That's
right
very
there.
good,
Yeah.
wow.
Thank you.
Dennis,
Dennis,
we,
thank you.
we appreciate that. We
Very
sure
much.
do. That is awesome right there.
I know they stay busy,
Oh yeah, they do.
but I've heard it's an amazing place.
Yeah, I mean,
Well worth his money, but 10% off make it even more worth his money.
yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. We have Prym1 Camo, the ultimate concealment solutions for the outdoorsman and woman that need to blend into their surroundings. Go to prym1camo.com and check out all their products. I'm sorry. Their 20% off code is Hero1. Wildlife Addiction Food Plot Services, that's myself. You can contact me at 731-780-4868 or 731-780-6426. And we offer a full line of food plot services. Anywhere from, we can take care of anything you need as far as small as coming out and spraying, prepping ground. We can do full turnkey jobs. Anthony and I can come out and consult. We're pretty busy. I'm playing catch up right now. I have somebody sitting there at the table waiting on me to do a little work for me.
We'll
The
get there.
rain, it's killing me.
I understand.
I know you got a lot of new seed come in the other day too,
I
didn't you?
got a bunch of seed coming.
Yeah, I saw that.
It is here, and they're really good to me. So
Have you planted any corn yet?
not yet. No, I'm good on the corn. I can wait on it. If it's for deer hunting or duck hunting, we have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait till after the beans.
yeah, I got you.
So
What about sunflowers?
I planted till 9 last night. I planted till 11 the other night. I'm trying to catch dry between the rains, and that's kind of what the tornado put me behind just a little bit.
Yeah, I could
Not
see
really
that.
'cause you
put
had
me
to work
behind,
so much
'cause
with
I had
your
to work
job,
so much.
right.
And then I've been trying to play catch up, and we're getting there. I have a pretty good size one to do Friday, and I'm hoping that other than a few small things, that'll have me pretty much caught up.
Yeah.
Now, as long as the rain cooperates this week.
Well, looks like
It's
Thursday's
not
going to be a
looking
lot.
good.
Yeah, that's
it's
for
not
sure.
looking good.
That's for sure. Is that it, Keith?
That's it.
All right. Hey, we're going to kind of go over some of these turkey harvest numbers right here.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I did it two ways. I did it like we normally do harvest report. We just compare it year to date, from today's date, same time last year. But I also, since this year was different, we opened 2 weeks later. We've had basically at sunset today 13 days of turkey hunting. So I also broke it down like that, and that's where you can really, to me, is comparing more apples to apples.
without a doubt.
But I'll do it this way first. Just year to date, of course, this first number is pretty impressive. We've taken 22,374. Last year, same date, 24,403. So we're really only behind 2029, and that's opening up 2 weeks later. I'm talking 14 days less hunting. The Jake harvest, we're at 2315. Last year this date was 3640, and that's down 36%. The bearded hens, 113. Last year was 213, so that's 100 less, and that's down 47%. But the good numbers, when you're comparing the number of days that we've had to hunt this year versus the day 13 of last year, this year we've taken, 22,374. The first 13 days last year, only 15,804. So we are ahead 6,570, or 44%. That is just...
That's a lot of
It's
birds.
kind of hard to believe,
A lot
really.
of birds in the first 13 days.
Yeah. The Jake harvest, this one kind of surprised me. We're only 16 Jakes less. I mean, we've killed 2315. Last year at the first 13 days was 2331. So we're only down 16 Jakes, and that's not a bad thing, but at 0.7%. The bearded hens were down. It was 144 last year taken, 113 this year, the first 13 days, down 31, down 22%, but that up 44%, Bubba. That is...
Well, we also knew.
We kinda knew it was gonna be a
knew
bump.
There was a lot of 2-year-old birds on the landscape.
That's right.
I mean, if you go back 2 years ago, we had such a great hatch.
Yeah, and even last year.
Such a great hatch 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so, there's been a ton of birds that's been killed. It's got 3/4 inch spurs to
7/8, yeah.
7/8 inch, inch and eighth,
And I've seen a lot of people talk about it, say, man, what's up with the short spurs? It's not really so much that, it's just so many dang 2-year-old birds on the landscape.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. And I think next year's going to be the same way, because last year to me was probably a better hatch than the year before.
I don't know, but it seemed like our jay carvers might not agree with that. A lot of times, jay carvers could be a little hard. So I think it's not as good as it was 2 years ago.
It may be
statewide,
but it may just be so many 2-year-olds on there. People are passing the jakes up
because they did kill a lot of jakes during the youth hunt right off the get go.
They did,
and so. And there's a lot of people, after you've killed some turkeys, they just don't shoot jakes.
Right.
In general.
I mean, but it's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm just
not
saying,
at all.
I mean, I don't do it.
Yeah, I don't either. But I don't knock anybody that does. I mean, that's just.
It's a legal bird.
It's whatever makes you happy. Same way if you shoot a spike or a full point.
The other day, I was down at Grand Junction, I'll call it, and 2 big old full mature birds just right in the road, and I went by and full fan. One had nice long beard, and the other one full fan, just barely, just a little bitty.
That's right.
Beard. And he was a mature bird all the way around. Everything about him was mature, except he had a short beard.
But he would still count as a mature bird. He would not go against your jay carvers.
Yeah, he was a mature bird that had a beard rot or something happened to his beard.
I mean, that happens. Somebody may have shot part of it off too, because that happens a lot.
Yeah, that's
our
possible.
buddy old Duck. He kind of did that down in Texas this year. I told him, I said, Duck, that beard looks like it was shot. And he said, no, it was like that. And then about an hour later, he sent me a trail camera picture. He said, you was right. I shot that thing off.
Shot a little low, shot a body shot.
I'm sure that's not quite how he said it, but.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't quite like that.
Duck.
Yeah.
And we was talking about shooting turkeys. We were talking today. TSS has changed things, but the red dot scopes on shotguns have really made it to where you can see your whole sight picture. You don't have to have your face all the way down on proper alignment, looking down that barrel. It's made shooting turkeys a lot easier. And a lot more consistent.
Yeah, it could be just an ethical thing.
I mean,
Of course, Duck just sent a text, wonder how many wasn't reported.
Yeah.
And and with the 2-bird limit, I mean,
that's a good point.
There's a couple things you can make out of a 2-bird limit. It could make some people poachers, but on the other hand, it could take a lot of pressure off of the birds left on the landscape. Because I know a lot of people that's tagged out, a bunch. And so a lot of the farms they hunt, it just might be them. And so, that could be a good thing. That farm could rest.
Yes.
Let the hens nest, without any human interaction anyway.
Yeah. We talk about human disturbance with turkeys. You think if we're not out there, it's got to be beneficial for them.
Yeah.
But to what degree, I don't know.
Right, I don't know either. I know turkeys, if they see a human, they're gone.
Yeah,
they're not going to be like a deer and sit there and look at you for a long time. They're pretty much gone. Kind of like those of me and you the other day, Keith. As soon as they saw us, they were gone.
It's one thing if you're on a tractor or just going through the country on a 4-wheeler or something, but when you're on foot, they don't like it.
Nope. They sure don't. Well, Bubba, let's knock out the top 10. Yeah. Hey, and on the top 10, too, I did this same way, year to date, and then also the other column on there is the first 13 days. Or if you just want to do 13 days, it's whatever you have.
I'll do the 13 days, and then you come back and
with the year to date.
Year to date.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is the first 13 days, and we'll go from number 10. Number 10, Wickley County. The first 13 days of 2022.
Yeah.
Is 385. This year they were at 473, so they were up 38 birds.
No, 416.
416.
Yeah, 416.
416 up to 38. Sumner County coming in at 417. They're up 207.
Yeah, that's the biggest jump. First
207.
they had 210 last year.
in the
First 13 days.
13 days. Number 8, Wilson County coming in at 423 turkeys checked in, up 38 from this time last year. Well, 13 days.
Yeah, 13 days.
Hickman County, 427, up 139, pretty substantial. Giles County, 439.
Yeah. Now the reason that's so up because they were delayed,
They
2 weeks.
So that's
That's really I really wasn't even going to count that.
that's almost hard to even.
Yeah, because that's not comparing apples.
It's hard to
apples there.
compare our turkey season this year. It's not like our deer season just because of the way it's done.
That's right.
So far, until it's all said and done,
Yep.
then we can compare it.
Right.
Number 5, Rutherford County, 452 birds, up 101. Montgomery County coming in at 484, up 109. Number 3, Dixon, 530, up 88. Number 2, Greene County coming in at 647, up 133 birds. And our number 1 turkey county so far is Maury County, coming in at 678 birds harvested in the first 13 days.
It's just unreal.
Birds.
Yeah.
Up 89 birds. That's a lot of birds taken in
Yes.
13 days in one county.
Now, if you just compared it year to date from today's date to the same date last year, it's a little bit different because Maury County is down 193 just on the date, year to date. But that's, like I say, that's not comparing apples to apples. Greene County is down 64, Dixon down 110, Montgomery County down 65, Rutherford County down 111, Giles up 77, Hickman up 27. Now Hickman surprised me because it was on the same schedule as everybody else, and then they're still up.
Still up.
Yeah, Wilson County down 148, Sumner down 26, and Weakley down 57. I think Weakley and Henry County were the only 2 in the top 10 from West Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it was. But still, when you just compare the first 13 days from this year, first 13 last year, it's substantially up, and then the whole state is up 44%.
Yeah.
That's a big chunk right there.
Yeah, that's just a lot of birds. And we just had a gut feeling it was going to be a good year. Yeah.
Hey, and one thing I don't know if I mentioned it a while ago during the commission meeting, a lot of people was wondering about was West Tennessee going to go into a CWD zone?
That's what we forgot to go on.
Yeah, that was one. You remember I told you a while ago, it seemed like we forgot something. That's what it was. And, a lot of people was wondering about was the turkey going to go back or anything. The commission voted to leave everything with small game, deer, turkeys, just like it was last year. The only thing that'll change will be the incidental dates of the calendar, the way it changes.
That's right. So
That's
just
it.
maybe a few days.
That's right.
Basically it.
And going back to that, I know a lot of people complaining about how Easter fell in turkey season. And, our turkey season dates are just set on the calendar. It doesn't have anything to do with Easter, and it might be different next year because Easter moved.
Years ago it did, but it don't anymore.
Don't anymore.
That's
so
right.
It's just the way the calendar falls.
So, but and then so that means that June of next year or May probably. They'll probably have the meeting in April to discuss possible changes, and then May they'll probably set them in stone or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
But for right now, all the fall seasons, the only thing changing is just by the calendar dates. That's it. So it's we can still take $3 in unit CWD.
Same. You can earn $1, and then
that's right. That's exactly right.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes as far as that. That's
Let's circle back to Brittany, see if she has anything else that you want to.
Yeah, cause we got several more minutes. We knocked that out.
Is there anything that we forgot over your upcoming event, or you think everything is pretty much out there?
Maybe that we're partnering with Blue City Kayaks out of Memphis for this year's iteration. So he's had some guided tours on the Hatchie before. He also does Wolf River and the Ghost River. So he's bringing his kayaks, his knowledge of rivers and safety, and specifically the Hatchie. He's guided it several times, and this year he's bringing his kayaks and doing them. And then the next year, City of Bolivar hopes to do them ourselves and have a bigger iteration of at the Sand Beach Lake. And so then we have 3 dates this summer, one in June, July, and August. Those are not on Eventbrite yet, but there will be Kayaking 101 classes on the lake. There will be guided tours around the lake. We're going to talk about what fish are in the lake, what kind of trees are around the lake. There's some beautiful cypress out there.
Oh, yeah.
Floated that back section one day and saw some Canadian geese hanging out, and there's some other stuff back there.
Canada
Muscovy.
geese.
Yeah, I was going to say
Canada
Canada.
geese.
I wasn't going to play it.
Oh, you
Grammar,
can.
grammar.
We get-
teacher
yeah,
out
We spoke
here, but-
about that earlier.
Yeah.
You know.
Muscovy, can I say that right?
Yeah, Muscovy.
Muscovy.
Yeah, Muscovy.
Some different things. So, and then the sand company, the Bolivar Sand Company, used to utilize that lake underneath and dredge out sand for
Yep.
years and years, white golf course sand. So we're going to talk a lot about that on that tour. So
I think that's one of 5 white sand veins that come down from Canada and the United States.
You know, there's still one they're doing in Madison County.
Yeah.
It's still,
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
active.
it's
yeah.
still active in Madison County. That's the only one I know. I don't know if there's any
Yeah.
others.
It was 5 at one time that
Okay.
came from Canada down, and I know one of them was here, and like I say, one in Jackson. Not really sure what the other 3 was, but I've always heard.
But
it
they
was
always
5 of
want them for the golf courses, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
main.
That-
and
yeah.
China,
Oh, China.
they would send it not to China, but to making China.
Oh, for
Yeah.
making
Oh,
China.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, it wouldn't go that far for that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that
China,
you
that
quite
was
saying
China.
it making
Yeah,
China.
and glass, he said. Glass.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
And
see
it
that.
looks to be, I don't know, I'm just conjecturing about it being part of the Memphis Aquifer recharge zone.
I don't know.
It,
I don't-
it goes out here. What do you think?
I don't think it is. I don't think.
On the maps, it kind of looks like it goes out to Hardeman County out here. I don't know. Yeah. But the sand veins, I've not heard that. So.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We're going to have tours out there this summer and also some water safety, learn how to kayak better, feel better about going on rivers yourself. I've taken the course from Andy, who's going to be out there teaching it, and it's great. It's a really good course.
So there's just a lot of opportunity if you want to kayak just
Yeah.
right here
Yeah.
in Bolivar to learn it or to go to Hatchie or be
Yeah.
a part of it.
Is there going to be any more Hatchie trips this year?
Yes, there's going to be a fall series also. So the dates, I don't have them in my head right now. September and October, we're going to do the 64 to 18, and then another 2 weeks from that, we'll do the 18 to 100.
100.
Yeah.
October, depending on the time.
That
Floating
could
that Hatchie River, if we've had a cool snap, it is beautiful.
It could be.
Yes.
It could be the
In
best
the fall,
one. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what we're kind of
So
thinking.
That could be the best.
For any of the lake
Do the
viewers,
website that you look all this up on, if somebody wants to look it up,
Eventbrite.
that's
it's
what I was
just all
fixing to
just
ask.
on there.
The summer dates are not on there, as well as the fall dates. That's
But does,
just still in
like the
planning.
city of Bolivar have a page
No,
where you?
not on Facebook. No, we haven't made up. This is all new. I just asked the mayor. You know,
Awesome.
I run the city of Bolivar Community Garden, and that's kind of how that worked. I said, Mayor, we need a community garden. He said, Brittany, start it. And then I said, Mayor, we need to buy some kayaks. We need people to be on this river. It's so beautiful. And he said, you do it. Okay, start.
your task by this time next week have a Facebook
Facebook.
page up
Yeah,
for the
that's
city
what it
of
seems like.
Bolivar. You know, of the you're the water court at City of Bolivar water events.
Sure. Okay.
That's what you need
Will
to do. I'll make sure J Dog tightens you up on that. Make sure it happens.
Yeah.
And Facebook, of course, is a good avenue for.
Yeah, we put it through the
reaching
city
out.
of Bolivar,
Yeah.
but y'all, that's great ideas. Yeah.
So it's okay. You've been on. We got just a few minutes. I know you've been on the Hatchie River several times. For people that had never kayaked it, you know, somebody that hadn't done it, they're going to be looking at stuff like what all can happen, what can go wrong.
Sure.
What's some of the things you see that you kind of just need to, when you go
To be
down through there,
cautious
you're
about.
always aware about.
Yeah, I stay near the center of the river. I don't try to go out into the bushier areas
Yeah.
where wildlife can be. I like to see it. I like to see turtles on a log, or I like to see deer running through the woods, and that's fun.
Because those water snakes love to stay in them bushes.
Fall
Yeah.
right on
That's
top
where
of
they
you.
will fall in
Fall
your
in
boat
your
when
lap.
you're going up there and they're checking
Yeah.
a trot line. I'm telling you.
But
Yeah.
there's plenty of river to not be under those.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
I
true.
totally
There's
agree.
plenty of river.
Yeah.
It's big enough. And also, there could be logs down. There
Yes.
could be strainers down. And so you would need to navigate a couple of sections. You know, there's some paddling that you need to maneuver over one way or the other where there's some free clearance.
Yeah. There's a degree of physicality that's going to be
Yeah.
required. to
Yeah.
go.
And then once you get used to it, because I know, of course, I grew up on it. Keith, you did too. Bubba, you've been on it for a long time. You know, when it gets low, you can you'll see that ripple like right in the middle. Like, what is that? You know, it's a log.
It's a log.
That, you know,
Yeah.
maybe 2 inches underwater.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that a
And-
snake? No, it's a log
Yeah.
popping up.
That's
yeah.
that's
You
right.
gotta go, Miss Janet. You need to go.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Too many
a
bugs
great
down there
journey.
for her.
Yeah.
Bugs.
No.
She don't like
We-
bug
we
bite.
get her-
Most times you're out in the middle of the river,
No.
bugs don't bother you no
I've
way.
never been
Now
bothered.
you get off
Yeah.
on in the shady part of it though. Yeah, them mosquitoes they
Hatchie
yeah they will do a blood. They'll take some blood from you.
Yes, they will. They just can look you in the eye and
Yeah,
they're gonna win.
yeah. Some of them down there they bite you first and then they land on you. That's the way they are.
That's about
Yeah,
the truth.
Yeah.
yeah.
But we have safety number one in our minds. We're all wearing PDFs. We're all wearing life jackets. We have a safety briefing, and then we've got a lead, a middle, and then a back person having an eye out for everybody, keep everybody together, keep everybody safe.
Well, it sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah, it sure really does.
Yeah.
On an amazing river.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Glad
and-
we're getting
good for you.
invested in
Good
it.
for you for
Have they ever done kayaks from 18 to 100? Because most of them that I ever see do, they do
He hasn't
64 to
guided
18.
that.
I don't know.
I've
Yeah.
done it several times on kayak.
Yeah,
And he's never guided that section.
Got it.
right. I don't know of a big event that's ever been
Right.
done from 18
Yeah.
to 100.
Yeah. It's just as beautiful. It's a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
longer.
I'm not. Yeah,
A couple
Yeah.
more river miles.
Just
yeah. It
Time
is
on
longer.
water.
a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, of course, going all the way down from 100 to Hatchie Station, that's a pretty one too. I've done that
You
a
know,
bunch.
Hatchie's all the stretches are a little different.
They
but
are.
They all have their
Yeah.
pluses and minuses. You know.
Yep, they sure do.
And you'll see things. I mean, if you just get out there and pay attention, you'll be in a place that is very peaceful. It's just a beautiful
Oh,
place.
gosh,
to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
I
you know, don't
encourage-
panic when you see old Freddie No Shoulders swimming
Don't
across
forget.
through there.
Eventbrite. If you want. If you want to
Eventbrite,
get,
yes.
Eventbrite.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
The May
Right.
13th date is on Eventbrite Live, and then the summer and fall series to come.
That's a Brent Bright. That's,
Eventbrite.
that's almost like McNair County Bright.
that's right.
Bright Mike Spot. Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right.
Mike,
Yeah. Keith, you got anything else, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready to get back on the tractor and get some stuff in the ground.
Here, we
It's
gotta
that
get you a
time.
bird though too.
I know it. I'm trying to. I've got to get back in.
Yeah.
I'm
Keith,
working on it.
You got anything,
Yeah.
Bubba?
That's, be safe out there.
All right, Brittany. Any final words?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Hey.
Enjoyed
Awesome.
it.
Appreciate
Really
you
did.
being on the show. Hey, appreciate all of our viewers and sponsors and the Facebook groups that allow us to share this. And we're signing off, and we'll see y'all here next Tuesday night. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.